Hip flexion passive range hold with abduction. Okay, so we're familiar with hip flexion. If you're not, this is hip flexion. Think knee to chest. The abduction is going to be moving the knee out away from the midline. Now I can't do this and roll with it because obviously the relative motion of my hip to my pelvis wouldn't change. So if I'm using my left leg, my right butt cheek has to stay on the ground. So as I lift my knee into flexion and then abduction, my right butt cheek can't leave. And the process is exactly the same. I stack my hands, I drive my knee up as high as I can get it. As soon as I let go, my hands go to the ground like I'm driving a stake in each hand into the ground for tension here to drive more juice to my hip. So I count down 3, 2, 1, and what that's going to do is allow me to create tension so that when my hands slowly leave, my knee doesn't move away from my chest or from my shoulder. So I'm going to lift, differing from hip flexion where I'm here. I rotate out as far as I can. I should now feel a stretch in my groin as well as sort of high hamstring stuff. So 3, ramping up tension. 2, max tension. 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let go. That is significantly different than hip flexion. You will feel that. You'll find a little bit more hip flexor. You'll also feel your groin working extremely hard at length. It's very different than hip flexion, although similar in some ways. So if you've done hip flexion already, this should just be a piece of cake in terms of execution. If you've not done any hip flexion passive range holds and this is your first exposure to them, have fun.